Okay. There. Okay. Okay, how's that, guys? Is that a better setup? Awesome. Okay. Well, I guess this headset, although it's brand new, is not going to work for us. Linda said if she sewed that fast, she'd have a lot of thread breakage. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad we got that fixed. Anyway, way better. Way better. Thanks, Cactus Deb. So tonight, let's talk a little bit about our Spinning Wave 10. What I want to talk to you about first is to let you know that there are a total of 12 spinning wave templates. Okay. They all do the little different little things and stuff. And when I first opened it up, I was thinking, okay, well, geez, I wonder what we can do with this. I'm thinking maybe not a whole lot, but let's give her a shot, okay? So I did, and man alive, as it happens every time when I think we're going to be limited by one design, we find out that there are so many different things that we can do. So let's go ahead and get started. Tonight we're going to do I've got a 12-inch block here, and it doesn't matter where number 1 is. What we're gonna do is go ahead and we're going to line up this first line on the template. This is it's a 12-inch. It is the only size. All of these templates come in this size, 12 inches long. Now, it's for a 12-inch block, I should say, with a 2-inch center. So we're going to have a 2-inch circle in here. But this is a 12-inch block, and what you'll see is my template comes a long way out of there. So let me check the template part of it. Okay, this is where the foot starts right here. I'm gonna hold it up this way, comes out 8.5 inches. So from foot to tip is 8.5 inches. So that gives us, we could do a 16, we could even do a 17-inch block. 17-inch might be pushing it kind of to the limit, but we could easily do a 16-inch block with this. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you all these little cool arrows here. And what those arrows are kind of for, kind of, I say, because it's the way some people may use them. It's not necessarily the way everyone will use them. You'll see that every other line has an arrow pointing out. So I think what the purpose of that arrow is to come out, go ahead and twist your template, and then you'll come back in on the next one. I have decided I'm going to double stitch each one. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start at line number 1. And I'm going to get moved up here. I wanna make sure that you'll see I've got a different machine tonight too. So I need to line it up a little differently than I'm used to. And I have to remember that this one does all kinds of stuff by pushing buttons instead of using it manually. Okay, there we go. Got my bobbin thread up there. Just gonna throw it down, check. Okay. Oh, we got some more people here. Yes. MW, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. So good you could stop by. Bonnie from North Carolina's here. Good evening, Bonnie. And Lindy, yes, this is amazing. You're going to see some real fun things that we're going to do. Oh, Fernie, hi. I'm so glad you made it back. Fernie is out in Minnesota and she is new to ruler work. And I just think we're going to see great things from her. Okay, so I am going to stitch out. And I'm going to just move my hands. I do have staple tape on both sides of the template. Okay. And come out and back to the center. I like that real strong show of thread when I want my design to be the star of the show and not the piecing. Okay, so here we go. We're coming back to the center. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and turn this template so that we are lined up on line 2 of 16. I have 16 reference lines here tonight. And there we go. And we're going to come right back out again. You know, when I first started doing this template, it made me think of a mermaid. Don't know exactly why, because I've never seen one. But if you have, let me know if this is what the tail looks like, because this is what it made me think of when I was working with it this week. Just a really soft, easy, gentle curve. And you know, when we make these gentle curves, what we want to do is make our stitches just a little bit shorter because that will help the illusion of the curve being much smoother. Now, this is the way I find things out as I do them. And what I'm thinking is, you know, we could put another piece of staple tape right here. I think it would be helpful. I'm not gonna stop and do it now, but I think before I use it again, I will do that. I like to have stable tape under where my hands make contact with the template. It helps me to keep them much more stable. And since I'm not, I have to do everything I can to keep the template stable. Okay, so we're gonna come back up here. I will tell you one thing, this machine is so much quieter than the machine I normally use. It's almost kind of freaky. I'm waiting for the clack, clack, clack of the machine. Okay, and we're gonna come here. I'm only gonna go about halfway with this because I do have some other things I really want to show you with this. It is a great tool for beginning quilters, for beginning ruler quilters, simply because the curve in it is so gentle that it's a great tool to learn with. Oh, and don't forget too, I almost forgot to say this. I meant to right away. If you order tonight and put Day Deal 20 into the coupon code, you're going to get a 20% discount. Okay, if you order tonight. Let's see who else is here. Oh, Barb is here from southern Minnesota. Sue is here, another Michigander. Hi, Susan. Wanda, hello again. I just saw you at lunchtime. Nancy, you too. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys are here. Lee, good morning or good evening, I should say. I'm used to seeing you in the morning too, from Indiana. Okay, and what does Marcy have to say for us? Just popping on from Texas, say hi. She's going to catch the replay. They are on their way to their daughter's proposal and surprise wedding that she knows nothing about. Marcy, I hope you come back next week. Tell us all about it. That is so fantastic. I love it. To enjoy yourself. Terry's here. Hi, Terry. Terry is not in Michigan right now. She's down in Illinois, but she'll be back soon. Right, Terry? Okay, and we're gonna come here and we're gonna do just a couple more. Now, speed when we're our stitching speed. Everybody has a stitching speed that is the most comfortable for them. Okay. My stitching speed is rather slow. That's where I'm comfortable. But if your stitching speed is quicker than mine, there's nothing wrong with that. If it's slower than mine, there's nothing wrong with that either. What we want you to do is find the rhythm that works the best for you. And that's a lot of times how I know if I am in the right speed zone, so to speak. And that is just simply by listening to the rhythm of my sewing machine. It's a sound you will get used to, and you'll just know it when you hit it. It's awesome. Okay, I'm going to do this last one like this. And then I'm going to show you another way that we can use this template. That's a lot of fun, and I think it looks great. And it does not include stitching twice. Okay, so up we're going to go. We're coming back to the center now. And I am going to stitch to my next line. Okay. So we're going to put that center in. Now, a lot of people too like to put that center in first before they get started. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think it's kind of a good idea myself, quite honestly. Well, Chris, hi, good to see you again. We all had lunch today. Oh, Barbara's here from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada. Welcome, Barbara. I think I've been to Sudbury. We did a couple of times we did a trip around Lake Superior, and it seems to me Sudbury was one of the destinations. Not really sure why. I was much younger then. I just went along for the ride. My parents decided where we were going. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to come out this time, but I'm only going to come out on this line, and then I'm going to stop and I'm going to flip my template. Then we're going to do some traveling. Okay, so I want you to get a good look at this. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Okay, so I've come out to this point. I'm going to take my template and I am just simply going to flip it over. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and travel back here to the template. And I'm just going to turn it around so you can see better what I'm doing. Want to make sure that we've got a good vantage point for you. And I'm going to just go ahead and free motion this. If this were a block, which I'm pretending it is, we would be stitching in the ditch. And if you are not comfortable stitching in the ditch without help, by all means, your 12-inch arc will definitely help you out, okay? So now we're going to come back. This is kind of a long template, so I'm having a hard time getting the whole thing in the frame here. But what I think is important is that you'll see that this line is on the same reference line that I stitched out on. So now I'm going to stitch back to the center. Okay. And this is just going to give us a really nice an extra depth to the design. Okay, we're going to come in. Now I do want to show you too, and I'm going to show you now how I would go around this whole circle to begin. You obviously don't want to come down here because you're going to be totally off of where you want to be. So I would come about halfway and stop. And I'm just going to go ahead, hug that template. Remember, don't push the foot against the template and don't push the template against the foot. Probably the most valuable lesson that I learned when I started template quilting, because it seemed to me that every time I tried to push it, something went cattywampus. Okay. Either the template moved or my fabric moved in a direction that wasn't where I intended for it to go. But I do like coming around and doing this. Usually I do it prior to starting anything. And that way, when I come in going from reference line to reference line, what happens is I end up with a double stitched circle in the center, and it keeps everything really, really nice and smooth, very smooth. Okay, so now we're back to the next reference line. And again, I'm just going to come out. And you can see where my hand is here and here, which is where I am thinking we really could use some extra stable tape there. Okay. Off we go. I love this. I just absolutely love the softness of this curve. Okay, now I'm going to come in. I'm going to just flip my template. Okay, well, there we go. Oh, some days are easier than others. Okay, so now we're going to come up here. Now, I want to show you how you can mark this if you want to use your 12-inch arc. So what I would do is I'm just going to take my spacing gauge here. I'm going to put my 12-inch, or I'm going to take and make a mark, 1/4 inch from my template. I have my template lined up the same way that I'm going to stitch it, but I need that 12-inch arc to stitch down to this mark so that it stays nice and straight for me, okay? So here we go. Stop at the mark. Now we should be able to put our template back. Let me get all this out of the way. I get to having too many things on. Now we can put our template back and you'll see the important part. This line is perfectly lined up on our reference line. So we got a nice straight line using the 12-inch arc. And now we're going to come back to the center of the template. Okay. And we cross over. And it just makes a really pretty design. Now, this would be a wonderful design for templating. And it also would be a wonderful design if you wanted to get your Inktense pencils out and do some work with it. I was thinking before when I was looking at this, how pretty it would be to do like a rainbow of color coming out from the center. Using a lot of the fabric medium would allow us to really wash those colors out and make it look like a watercolor painting, which I think is so cool. Now, I normally don't twist my block this often, okay? I'm doing it because I want to make sure that you have the best vantage point to see what I'm doing. But I think it's important that you practice stitching in different directions. And the reason being is if we have a big quilt, you're not going to want to turn that quilt around for 16 different stitches, stitch outs on the template. In this case, because I've got a 16 reference points, it would be 32 times. And you know what? I'm not strong enough to do 32 times with taking that quilt and rotating it. I just, you know, I like to think I'm in shape, but it's not good shape. So I just could not do it. It would be way too difficult. And, you know, that reminds me to remind you, relax your shoulders, take your time. This is a journey. Enjoy the journey. And I've got some of my students here tonight who are probably rolling their eyes right now because they have heard me say that so many times. But it's true. You know, we do this because it's something that we really enjoy doing. It's not a chore. It's what we like. So why not make it last? I mean, if you want to hurry through something, hurry through scrubbing the floor so you can get to your sewing machine, right? That's kind of the way I do it, or better yet, talk your husband into doing some of those chores around the house. Help you out so you can get to your machine quicker. Okay, now I'm gonna come out this way and something okay. I thought there was something didn't look right, but everything is lined up the way it's supposed to be. The further out from the center we get, what you're gonna notice is the further out we're going to be stitching on the perimeter. Okay, and bring it back in. We'll do a couple more like this, and then we'll take a look at how the finished design is going to look for us. Now, what you could do too, if you wanted to take more than one of the spinning waves and add them in here, you could really do some awesome design with that. Because tonight we only had the spinning wave 10 on the paper that we drew for tonight's um, demonstration, I didn't want to muddy up the waters, so to speak, by adding other templates in. So there we go, and I'm just going to come down to the corner here. The more you do this, the easier it's going to become. When you travel, go ahead, take your time. The key to traveling is to keep going somewhat slow, but don't stop. Because I found when I was learning how to do free motion and traveling and such, I found that if I stopped stitching, what would happen is I would jerk, and then I would have my stitches would be all uneven. That was never a good thing. Okay, we're going to come back up to the center here. Now, the other thing that would be awesome with this is to do a corner treatment. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay, there we go. Now, let's take a look at where we've come so far. Terry says she's not going to get back to Michigan soon enough. Oh, considering the way the weather has been up here, I don't know. Okay. So here we've got where we just went and flipped the template and did one line of stitching on each. And it's just a pretty, it gives a lot of movement. There's a lot of interest in here and a lot of movement. And if you wanted to, you could, this is a 2-inch circle, so you could again take one of those mini spin effects to the center here and put something in. This, to me, if you're doing a landscape quilt or something like that, this is the rays of the sun. I mean, it's just, it's a sun, and there's no two ways about it. It's just beautiful. I just love this. Nice and steady and even. So I'd like to hear what your favorite part of this is. If you like to see the rays crossing over or just stay in one orientation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put another pin in down on the bottom because this template is a template that's made to spin, hence the name Spinning Wave. Okay. And you'll see it does say on the template that it has a 2-inch center. So, and check my pin, make sure it's not cattywampus. I actually came across a couple of them where I had been traveling with them, and they were in this little case, and I think the case got smooshed because this part of the tack was bent over a little bit. So that didn't fare well, okay, for what I was trying to do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some more lines on my corner. And they're going to be here and here. Whoops. There we go. And we're going to just pull those lines out. Now, the question is, where are we going to stop? Well, what I would do is I would take my circles on quilts and I would put a circle in here, or a part of a circle, I should say. Okay, make sure I'm not running over any dogs here because they're all laying by my feet. I don't know why they don't lay by Ken's. His are better. Okay. Hi, Pam. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so we're going to come in here. Now, to do this, I need to get my stitching line discs. I'm going to go ahead and grab those. Oh, yesterday or day before it was, I guess. I thought I lost one of these. I was looking everywhere for it. I was on the floor, looking under the furniture. I was just didn't want the dog to get a hold of it. And man alive, I was everywhere looking for it. Yeah, it was right where I left it on the table. So, needless to say, the dog didn't get it because it never even hit the floor. That's the advantage to the colored ones instead of the clear ones. Okay, so I put this line at 7.5 inches. Remember on these circles on quilts, we want to stay either on the bottom or on the top because this channel has to be large enough so that this our foot can move around without getting bogged up there, which would happen if it were just large enough for the foot. So it would get bound up. Okay, so here we go. And I'm going to start on the outside here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you how I like to put that circle in. And gotta put I'm just not used to all of these buttons and gadgets on my machine. Oh, but it is nice having that needle up, needle down function. Oh, I love it. Okay, and here we go. I'm going to now stitch over. I want to see where we're at, guys. I'm gonna make sure you got a good view here. There we go. Okay, around we go. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop when I get to this circular area here. Any way I do it, I am not going to go outside of the perimeter of my block, okay? So here we go. And I'm going to stitch back to the center. Okay. Now I'm going to stitch up to my next reference line right here. And I'm going to go ahead and move that template. Stitch it around. You'll see that I'm going to touch that outside perimeter just before the template starts going straight. And I came off there a little bit. No worries. I'll take care of that later. I can always pick that out. Now I'm going to go, this is my center. This is the center reference line, okay? And that's going to be important in just a minute. You'll see why. There we go. Hug that template, but don't push against it. And we're going to come back to center. And now what I'm going to do, there we go, is I'm going to take my template off. Let's get rid of these strings back here because they don't do us any good whatsoever. Oh, my computer's popping windows up like crazy here. Oh, Donna, Donna, it's okay. You can be late. It's all right. Nobody's gonna mark you tardy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back on. You'll see I flipped it over. I'm going to line this up and we're going to go ahead and do out to the perimeter. It's not going to touch. It's going to come close, but it's not going to touch, and that's okay. And let's go back to the center. Now, the reason that I really like to do corner designs like this is because many times we have a circular design, like a spinifex design. And so we've got the circular center of our quilt block is adequately quilted, but it doesn't represent the squares very good of our blocks because they're empty. So to me, being able to take something and go ahead and fill in those corners, it helps to make sure that our square blocks stay square looking. So here we go. This will be the last one. Out we go. Now, again, if you wanted to, you could so easily just stitch along this line that we made here between each rotation, or you can do it the way I'm going to do it here. I'm done with this. Now I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take my 12.5-inch arc. I'm going to stitch out here. Okay. Right there, we're going to stop. Easy to see. We have a line there. Okay. Stop right there. You'll have an easier time with it because you won't have a camera in the way. It makes it sometimes makes it a little difficult to see what we're doing here. Okay, now I'm going to take my circles on quilts and go into that 7.5-inch again. And now we're just going to go and stitch around and join all of those rotations that we did. And if they don't join up perfectly, it's okay. You can always go back in and put a couple stitches in if you want, or don't worry about it. Once it's washed, nobody's going to ever know the difference. And if somebody says something about it, you know what to tell them. Tell them they can stay away from your quilt. Okay, there we go. And here's just a nice little corner treatment. that we can do to fill up our squares.
India, very
Lydia?
India.
Okay, Lydia, better late than never. Yes, Linda. Hi, from Utah. It's cold there. Oh, good. I think we need to give Lindia some support here. She is trying to gather her courage and do a fairly good sized quilt. She's going to wait till after the first of the year. I don't blame you, Lindia. What's that?
Walmart.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. I love being here with you guys. It is so nice to be. Oh, Kathy, I didn't see you sneak in. Kathy's here from Texas. Um, okay. Yes, Fernie, you're right. Lindia can do it. She definitely can. Okay, the pencil that I'm using, there's a whole lot of different brands out there. And what it is it's like a mechanical pencil, but it has white compressed chalk in it.
Good question.
And that's all that this is. But the difference between this and our chalk aligners is you have to erase this. It does not come off with heat. I do find, however, when I'm doing a demonstration like this on camera, it works better than the chalk, the ultimate chalk powder. Okay. Ken said we've got another.
That was it for
Oh,
the marking pen.
okay. I already answered it. I see I'm one step ahead of him tonight.
I took a nap.
Hey, he said he took a nap. We're both a little tuckered out today. I don't know why. Okay, Carol, thank you so much. Oh, Fernie, no problem. You guys can get a hold of me anytime you want when you have questions. Rita, hi from Australia. Oh, you and technology are not friends today. You know what? Quite honestly, Rita, I'm never friends with technology. Don't ask Ken. He'll tell you all of my bad habits. So this is where we are at so far with our um, spinning wave 10. And this is again for a 12-inch block with a 2-inch center. Don't forget to put your code in to get the 20% off today. And what you should use in the code is deal day 20. Okay, so deal day 20 will get you 20% off today only with this. Okay, and I am done with this, so I'm going to go ahead and just move this aside because I have one other design with this that I think you're going to like. And it is for a triangle. We don't usually when we're showing these templates, we don't put them in real life situations. And I've been trying to change that and put them more into real life situations. Right now, I don't have a whole lot of quilts to work on, and I'm not really sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Actually, I think it's a good thing because I've gotten a lot of projects finished up before the end of the year so I can start some new ones. So that's where I'm at. But oftentimes we kind of, we get a triangle and we're not really sure what all we can do with it. So I went ahead with this one and I came up with an idea that I really think you're going to like. I love it. It can be done as a circle, it can be done as a triangle, it can be done a whole lot of different ways, I guess. I know that you guys will come up with something that I didn't, so that's a good thing. So here's what we've got. We've got our triangle, and I used 16 rotations, but of course, because it's triangle, I only used 8. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put in my circle first. And I want to start, yep, I'm going to start here because when I start the design, I want my template in this orientation and not here. Okay, so I'll start here to get to the other side. And the reason that's important is because I hate breaking thread. If I don't have to break thread, it's a good day, right? Okay, and down we're gonna go. And we're gonna, I keep reaching for my hand wheel. Old habits are hard to break, aren't they? Okay, we're gonna put that needle down, get that out of the way. Take my one stitch in place. Do y'all remember why I do that? Well, Judy. Judy's here from Greenleaf. I haven't seen you in a while, Judy. Welcome. So nice to see you. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to turn this a little bit so that I can follow that circle. And remember, we're not pushing. We're not pushing against the template and we're not pushing against the foot. Very important to remember those two things. And how we go. The other thing that's really important to remember is to polish your glider, polish your extension table, and even this area of the machine right here, I do polish that. It can't hurt anything, it just makes it a little more slippery. And there we go. Okay, so again, I'm using that same line. I'm infatuated with that line, what can I say? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch until I get, there we go, just until I get to the outside edge of my triangle, and I'm going to come back to center. Remember to listen for that machine when you hear that area that you work best in. Okay, we're going to stop at the next reference line. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this. And I'm going to be real curious to see if you guys see in this what I saw in this when I did it. I'm going to the line. I'm going to stop. Okay. I'm going to turn the template over. I'm going to line it up. And I'm going to stitch back to the center. Okay. There we go. So now I'm going to, well, I'm going to turn this so you guys can see it, okay? Okay, this is where I was. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rotate that template and stitch over to the hook area. And I'm going to stitch out to that reference line and I'm going to stop. Oh, something happened there. I got caught on my pin, I think. Stop at the reference line, needle down, take the template and turn it over. Make sure that we line it up again. We want to be lined up on that reference line. Take one stitch in place and take off. There we go. Going to stitch to the next reference line. we go. Do we have any early guessers as to what we're making here?
Thing needs cleaned. Wow.
Oh, Ken's telling me my machine needs to be cleaned. He's over there checking out how dirty it is.
301.
My 301. Oh, hi, Kim. So good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Okay, so, oh yeah, Kim, I do always polish the machine bed. Yes, definitely. I do. Okay, Regina sees an angel. Kim said it looks like a spider body with legs. I like that. Kim, you've got it right. Well, it was an angel. You're right, Regina. It is now a sunflower. Boy, when I saw this, I thought to myself, this is a sunflower. And you know what's really, really cool is you could take your 2-inch simple circle and you could applicate a brown center into it right here and use yellow fabric out here. And you would definitely have the cutest little sunflower that we've seen in a long time. Silver Dolphin's here. Welcome. It's been a while since we've seen you. Always good to have you join us, darling. Okay, and back up to the center. And we're just going to keep going. And here it is. This is definitely a sunflower. I love it. Now, you could, if you wanted to, you could do the same thing coming out this way and do the flower in the corner. You could make a circle out of this and do the entire flower, which would be awesome as well. And the other thing we could do is we could go ahead and show you how to embellish these insides just a little bit. Well, there we go. And it's okay to smush. This is what I call smushing, okay? And it's perfectly okay to smush. That's one of those technical terms. I love to make up technical terms. I don't think anybody ever listens to me. Okay, so now you see what I'm doing is I am just going to turn it around here. Okay, here's where I just stitched. My line was on this reference line. So now if I just come out a little bit, and then come back into the center. And come out just a little bit more. And come back out. I just got company.
Hey.
Okay, so what we can do is just come out like that. And we can put this down and come back around to our next reference line. It's okay. All right, guys, you're going to get a treat tonight. Okay. I'm going to switch the camera. I normally don't do this, but I'm going to switch the camera. You're going to get to see me, lucky you, right? Okay. There we go. And I would like to introduce you to my great grandson Weston, who just came in to visit me. Okay, give that to Grandma. There he is. Can you say hi? Can you wave? There's my baby. I know you've heard me talk about him. Now you get to see him. Oh, okay, and we'll go back to what we were doing. He is so cute. I have to agree. And he is a dolly. He's a good baby. Mm. Get Grandma be done in 5 minutes, okay, honey?
Almost.
We're almost finished. So, yeah, a future ruler quilter. I think so, Kim. I definitely do. Uh, he is the sunshine of my life, that boy, and his mom too, and my granddaughter. She is my little mini me. And yes, she is a quilter and she does a beautiful job quilting. She used to do it a lot more before she had so much to keep her busy, though. Oh, okay, so we'll go ahead and finish this up. You can see where I put that little extra line in here. I think it just looks a little special.
Marble.
And come back to our center and around we're gonna go. We'll finish this up. We've only got 2 more rotations left. And you saw just how I took my toe catcher. Oh, I should have turned my template around. That's okay. We could make it a little more bold. You know, when I'm um, doing these demonstrations for you guys, I always make sure that I have a real high contrast between my fabric and my thread. And it's a good thing to talk about that once in a while because there are times when we make a quilt that we want our quilt to be the star of the show. And when we do, what we should do is find a thread that blends nicely. In other words, we don't want the high contrast that we have here. If, however, we want our designs that we're stitching in to be the star of the show, that's where we want to take and get a high contrast of thread to the fabric. And I have found there's so many threads on the market right now, and there are some new metallic threads that are just awesome. As a matter of fact, I probably in the next couple weeks will use 1 or 2 of the metallic threads that I've been testing out because they not only work beautiful, unlike the metallic threads of old, but they also just give that little extra spark to the design that we're putting in. So there we go. I'm going to get my last one in here. And remember, we're staying inside of our triangle here. So I will only need to put half of this petal in. And here is our sunflower. There it is. We'll take that needle up. Is that a cute sunflower or what? I fell in love with this little guy. And I'm thinking to myself, for a fall quilt, that is a perfect, perfect sunflower. Rita, You're gonna be a great grandma. Congratulations. That is so awesome. You know, it's really something being a grandma is good. Being a great grandma is awesome. I don't know. It just keeps getting better all the time. We have another one on the way. So, yeah, it's wonderful. And I actually get to take care of this little guy every now and again, and I'm always happy when I can. So, don't forget tonight, if you're interested, use the deal day 20 and you will receive 20% off of tonight's template, which is, let me grab it back here, Spinning Wave 10, the 12-inch block with a 2-inch center. And there is a lot more that we can do with it. And don't forget the other 11 that we have here. These are really cool. We'll be doing more of these. I'm not sure exactly when we'll be doing them, but we will be doing more of the spinning wave templates. Okay. There's a whole lot of different patterns that just look interesting. And I wish I had more time to play with them. I haven't played with them all yet, but I will be playing with them, definitely. I also want to, oh, there's our basket. Tomorrow morning, this is the template we're going to be working with. We are going to be working with the apple core, and it is a great edge to edge design. And guys, it is so easy. It is so easy to do. And there's other designs that we can do with it besides this. So I can't wait to sit down tomorrow and we're going to go through that. We're going to talk about it. We're going to stitch it. And we're just going to have a great time with it. Okay. Now Carlos says, "Whoops." She has the number 12, but she has not played with it yet. So now, Carla, you'll know you can do a whole lot of different things, and it will be fun to learn how to use that. And yeah, I just really do love that little sunflower. I think it's a great way to finish off the half square triangle. I really do. So let's take a look at what we're going to. You do. Okay, Regina has the apple core set and she can't wait to see it. And you're going to be shocked at how easy it is, Regina. It really is. It's awesome. But what we need to do next before we go is we've got to take a look at what we are going to be looking at next week. And it's going to be the Spin Effects Feather 8. And this is a fun one. It really is a fun template. There's a whole lot of fun different things we can do with it. So we will be prepared. I'll be talking fast, but not because of my microphone, okay? Oh. Oh, Terry, you did. Terry put her apple core on her poinsettia quilt. Oh, Lee has the apple core set too. Yeah, you know what? You're gonna be shocked, Lee. It's so easy. It is just so easy. And it's like, I was kind of drawing them out the other day and I started looking at them and I started stitching out. And well, why haven't I used these more? Oh, what's wrong with me, right? Donna has that set. Okay, awesome. It's so much fun, you guys. Again, I totally appreciate you being here. You really are awesome. And it's it humbles me. It really does. It humbles me. And I hope that you can make it tomorrow morning. It'll be 8 a.m. Central Time, 7 a.m. Mountain Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time, and 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and 3 p.m. in Sweden. How do you like that? I finally got it down, right? Okay, so if we don't, oh, you guys are so welcome. You are so welcome. I love being here. Don't forget the first of the year, we're going to be doing this 3 times a week. And what we're going to do on the Monday classes is we are going to take a look at the edge to edge quilting and how to do them with templates instead of we can do them with the embroidery also, but I will be showing you how to do them the old school way with templates. Maybe because I'm old, that's why Stacy picked me. I don't know. I don't know. But I hope that you guys had fun tonight, and I hope that you found something that you'd be able to use. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all that fun stuff. And I hope to see some of you in the morning. I hope to see all of you in the morning. So until we meet again, let's quilt.